guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing The Vampire Diaries, Season 5, Episode 4, For Whom the Bell, Tolls. Can I just say, was this not the most depressing episode of this show yet? This episode for me was pretty much a mixed bag. The first half I did not like. I did not like the first half of this episode. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was just... I understood what they were trying to do, but I did not like the first half of this episode. The second half of this episode I really liked. It was really emotional, but I thought this episode just too much happened in this episode for me. I thought this was a good episode, but too much was going on in this episode. It wasn't that it was a bad episode. It actually was a pretty good episode, but I think there was a little too much going on in this episode. This episode was basically about Elena trying to jog Stefan's memory back. That was basically the first half of this episode, and I thought that's what it was going to be about. I actually liked what they were attempting to do, but I didn't like the way they were flashbacking to only Stelena scenes. And I liked some of this, but I didn't really like a lot of it. So we see that Stefan doesn't really remember what's going on between him and Elena, and this part of the episode, I liked this part, this whole thing. I just didn't like how they did this. I thought it was stupid. He doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't know Elena. He doesn't know Damon. He doesn't know anything about this, and he doesn't know, how to stop it, what's going on. And basically, Elena decides to take him on down memory lane and literally make him go into flashbacks. This was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. She literally made him jump into flashbacks. What is she, the jumper? What is Elena, time travel? What is there, time traveling now on the show? It's really weird. I mean, it was better than just useless flashbacks, but she could have just, showed him through spots. She didn't have to show him, the exact place they were. It was very strange. And we see all the places where they met and things like that. And, we see that Stefan starts to get really close to Elena, and he wants to kiss her. But she says that he can't kiss her because of the fact that her and Damon are dating. I was very happy Elena did not kiss him. I'm like, no, do not kiss. I don't want this Stelena. It's not that I don't like Stelena. I think they are good when they have them on. But I want Elena to try with Damon and be with Damon for a while. Because I honestly think Damon and Elena, they have more chemistry. It's not that Stefan and Elena are bad. It's just they're very standard. Damon and Elena are much more, I just think they have more spark. I like them more. And, as far as this is going on, though, we see that he's about to kiss her, and, she can't because she's dating Damon. And he says, how do I not know this information? He says that he does, and, they told him, but they didn't really hide it from him because he was gone. They didn't know where he was. So after this episode, after this part, I was kind of confused as to what was going on. He suddenly gets his memory back, and he doesn't get his memory back all the way, but he remembers that he's the Ripper. And as soon as he remembers he's the Ripper, he goes to, he basically just goes ballistic because he thinks, oh my God, they did not tell me about this. And, they did not tell me that, he did not know that Damon and Elena were dating. And I thought this scene was actually very well done because you got to see Stefan's heartbreak and everything. And you see that he does not know that Damon and Elena are dating. He says that, and I didn't like the way he said this dialogue, though. I didn't like how he said, he took my girlfriend. You were not dating her at the time. You guys have not been dating since, I'd say probably early season 4. After early season 4, you were no longer dating. After early season 4, you were no longer dating. She was with Damon. She had scenes with Damon, and she's trying with Damon. I thought Stefan was being very selfish here. And he basically just goes Ripper ballistic, and he goes to feed on the guy Jessie, who we'll jump into Caroline and Jessie's plot in a second. But, yeah, that's basically what was going on with Stefan and everything. And, I didn't like the way this was handled. I thought this was really stupid, the way he just, went crazy over this. I thought he was being very selfish and childish. I didn't like this. Also, what else did I not like about this episode? No Silas. no, Katherine, this is not a good thing. Last week I loved it. I loved last week's episode because we really focused a lot more on Silas and we had some really funny Katherine moments, but this episode we didn't really get that and I didn't like that. The other thing we have to talk about is, the other thing I want to talk about is Jessie and Caroline. Oh my god, these two, they had such a great future together. I was really upset by the way it ended for them. And you guys know what happened if you watched the episode, but I will get to it if you haven't. And this is why it was like the most depressing episode ever, because there was so much like topics of death and everything. It was weird. We see that Caroline really likes Jessie. She really wants the two of them together. She's doing anything she can for them to be together, and you think they're cute together and everything. Well, as soon as Stefan feeds on Jessie, Caroline injects him with some of, basically gives him her vampire blood. So you think, oh, he's going to turn into a vampire. But that's not what happens at all. What actually happens, by the way, before this, Caroline kind of talked to Stefan and told him he needs to basically move on and not be the Ripper and he can deal with this and everything. But he says, oh no, I can't deal with it. I didn't like that scene. I thought it was stupid. I just did not like that scene. But we see that she's basically trying to get Jessie and everything, but that's not what happens. He did not, get the vampire blood. He's in the doctor's office. The doctor's office, he can't remember what happened beyond the night that Caroline took him to that party. He can't remember what else happened there. And the doctor said you were probably injected with vampire blood. Either someone wanted you to have it, or you somehow just got it. And he says the only way to stop it is this. So he puts a needle into his arm, and you think, okay, maybe he's going to get the vampire blood out, but Jessie just, dies there. I thought that was the stupidest thing yet. What the fuck? We just met Jessie, and now you're going to kill him? I was just like, what? Why'd they do that? It didn't make any sense to me why they killed off Jessie. I thought it was stupid. They literally just did what American Horror Story did last night. Only American Horror Story did it better. The Vampire Diaries was stupid with this because we hardly even knew Jessie. We literally just met him. Madison, at least in American Horror Story, we met her in episode 1. We knew enough about her character. And I really wanted Jessie and Caroline together. I really thought what they were trying to do was they were trying to show us why Klaus and Caroline would not be good together. Now, I don't know what to do. I don't know if Jessie's dead now. So I don't know what to do now because it's really stupid. I thought that ending was just, it ruined the entire episode for me after that episode. I will get to the one scene that I actually really loved. And the one thing that I really loved about this episode was the Damon and Bonnie and Jeremy plot. Especially the Jeremy and Bonnie stuff. So Damon's kind of there while Elena's trying to help out Stefan and everything. And at first we just had the, Damon, Bonnie, and Jeremy scenes. But Bonnie starts to realize that she needs to just accept the fact that she's dead. And Jeremy's kind of upset too because he actually did not want to, be resurrected. He wanted to be dead. And he says how I should not have lived. That you should have been the one who lived, not me. And he feels really guilty over this. So, yeah, I thought that scene was very heartbreaking to watch. We saw Jeremy, and I really liked this part of this episode. I thought this was probably the best part of the episode. We see Elena, and she's basically just, breaking down at this point because she doesn't know what's going on with Stefan and why he's a Ripper and everything. And Damon just confesses the news to her that Bonnie is dead, and Elena's, crying over this. And it was probably, we get the most heartbreaking scene of the episode, where I thought this was the best scene of the episode, and probably one of the only plot of the episode that I actually really, really liked. I really liked this plot. I thought the other two plots were stupid, and that they should not have killed off Jessie. I thought the Caroline Jessie stuff was good, but they should not have killed off Jessie. I thought that was a stupid move. And the Matt stuff, we had the stupid stuff with Matt going on as well. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just weird. But basically, we see that she feels very upset that Bonnie died. And then we get to the funeral scene where we see that, she's talking to Jeremy and she says, you should say this. And Jeremy gives a nice eulogy all about Bonnie. It really reminded me of when Jenna died in season 2. The impact it had on everyone. It really had a big impact on everyone. Bonnie was a person who was just, she was a great character. And she's not gone because it looks like next week some big's going to happen. But she gives advice to everyone. And she gives such great advice to everyone, but they can't hear her. She says to Caroline how, Tyler is going to be there for you. Because Caroline at this point does not know where Tyler is. So I do like that's going on there. We don't know where Tyler is. But I don't want Tyler and Caroline together. Especially not after last season. I don't want them together anymore. But, yeah, that was basically, and the episode basically ends with that scene, and then we get the Jessie scene, and then the episode ended. Next week's episode, it kind of looks like the Damon is going to try to work with Silas to get Bonnie back, which I don't know if this is going to work, but I really hope it does, because that'd be really cool to see. So yeah, this episode for me was pretty much a mixed bag. I did not love this episode like last week's. I thought this was not as good as the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes for me were perfect. I loved them. This episode for me was basically just like, it wasn't like it was bad or anything. It was the plots that went on, the direction they took. It was stupid. I don't understand why Stefan is so upset about Damon and Elena. I mean, he wasn't there at the time, and they didn't tell him because he was a ripper, and then he lost his memory, so why is this their fault? What the fuck is he upset for? There's no reason. And then the whole thing with Jessie and Caroline really ruined the episode for me. I really wanted them together, and that ruined the episode for me. So let me know what you guys saw this episode. And the lack of Katherine and Silas was a big deal as well, because neither of them were in the episode, and I did not like that. That's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.